California, there's actually a ban on affirmative action policies written into the state's constitution after voters passed Proposition 209. That was back in 1996.
But now there's a move to change that. Hal Eisner, he's live with us with more on efforts to bring affirmative action back. Hal.
Yeah, let's start with a little history there, because in 1996, it was Proposition 209 that amended the state constitution to say that government institutions in California could not hire and state universities could not admit students based on race, sex, color, ethnicity, or national origin. Now, legislators up in Sacramento have approved a constitutional amendment, ACA 5, to change all of that. Assemblyman Miguel Santiago just moments ago landed at Burbank Airport from Sacramento. I contacted him. He told me that there's been a decline in university admissions and job opportunities for people of color and women, and he thinks removing the ban should help. He was one of the authors of the bill. Plus, he says things have changed in 24 years.
Today, we're a different California. People are accepting. People have a strong progressive value, and we want equality for all. That's why we want to repeal Prop 209.
Why now? I mean, did Black Lives Matter influence lawmakers? What about the demonstrators in the street? Did that push it forward?
Yeah. Well, look, we started the effort in January along with our colleagues, but certainly it raised the issue of inequity and the necessity to act now and very quickly. And this is just one modest step. All we're saying is let the voters decide. This was decided 25 years ago. It's a new generation of voters. And when you took a look at the actions that were happening on the street and our young people going out there with that incredible energy and the minds that they have been able to change, and you take a look at that, and that's what California is about today.
The vote had to be by a 2/3 margin in the assembly. It was 60-14, and now it goes on to the state Senate. Marla, Alex?
Hal, so if this does go to the voters, how will that work?
Well, basically, once it gets to the Senate would then approve it. And there's reason to believe, Santiago says, that they likely will. And then it would go on the November ballot. And then today's generation, 24 years later, could decide if it's time to get rid of that ban on affirmative action.
You think about how different the world was back then, how much whiter California was in terms of voters, and how much more Republican the state was back then as well. Totally
back then we had a Republican governor also, right?
Yeah.
We had a Republican governor at that time. So it was a very different world at that point, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. Totally different electorate, and they may see it in a totally different way. Hal Eisner, thank you.